Welcome to the Deep Dives, where we plunge into the knowledge you need, serving it up with surprising facts and just enough humor to keep you hooked. Today, we're setting our sights on a destination that really truly seems to have it all. Portugal. From its verdant valleys and golden beaches to fairy tale castles and really buzzy cities, it's easy to see why millions flock there. But here's the thing you won't always find on those glossy travel brochures. Portugal can often catch first-time visitors off guard. Think unexpected culture shocks, tourist traps that kind of pop up in plain sight, and yes, sadly, even pickpockets and scams. So our mission for this deep dive, we've sifted through a stack of experienced travel guides, blogs, insider tips, basically everything we could find. And we've extracted the most important nuggets to equip you for a truly seamless and richer first trip. Consider this your personal shortcut to being deeply informed for your Portuguese adventure.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it, how these sources go beyond just listing what to see. They really focus on how to experience Portugal, anticipating those classic first-timer surprises. Our goal today is to sort of connect these practical dots for you. We're drawing on years of collective travel wisdom, really, and distilling it into actionable advice.
All right, let's kick things off with itinerary planning. Most first-timers, naturally, they gravitate towards Lisbon, Porto, and the Algarve. And look, those are incredible places, no doubt. But our first nugget of wisdom is to maybe think beyond those famous coastal hotspots. Portugal is so much more diverse.
Oh, definitely.
Many seasoned travelers in our sources urged, considering, venturing into the historic cities up north, places like Braga, Guimarães, or Lamego, where you can practically taste the history.
Right, really soak it in.
Or head inland to gems like Coimbra, with its ancient university, or the fortified towns of Evora and Elvas. And please, don't overlook Portugal's spectacular nature, whether it's the rugged beauty of Peneda Gerês National Park or the unique charm of its many islands.
Yeah, the islands are often missed.
The real benefit here, beyond just seeing more of the country, is that you can often dodge some of the more notorious crowds that flock to the popular areas.
That's a crucial point about expanding your horizons. And it connects directly to making your travel more efficient. For instance, if you're exploring both the north and south, our sources highly recommend flying into one city and out of another.
Ah, the open jaw flight.
Exactly. Portugal might look small on a map, but its popular destinations aren't always conveniently linked. So avoiding having to double back, like imagine flying into Porto and then departing from Faro after exploring the south, that can save you significant time and hassle.
A sense.
Now, for budget-conscious travelers, a frequent topic in our sources was the Tap Portugal stopover. This lets you get a free stopover in Lisbon or Porto for up to 10 nights en route to another destination.
Sounds like a fantastic deal.
It can be, but there's a crucial caveat here. Several sources were quite vocal, actually. Some even quipped that TAP Portugal stands for Take Another Plane.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, they seem to be notorious for delays, cancellations, and other operational issues. So while the stopover itself is free, you might end up paying for it in stress.
Right. That's a really good heads up to weigh the benefits against potential headaches. And speaking of headaches, let's talk about when to visit. This came up a lot. Our sources are almost unanimous on this. Strongly suggest avoiding July and August, and also major school holidays like Easter.
Peak season pitfalls.
Exactly. One travel blogger actually mapped out the difference after experiencing both a chaotic July nightmare and a serene September trip. They found like a 50% increase in accommodation prices during peak summer, and described Lisbon's main square as feeling less like a city and more like a human traffic jam when the summer heat was at its peak.
Oof.
Doesn't sound fun.
So it's not just a suggestion, it's almost a data-backed plea for your sanity and your wallet. Instead, May, June, or September, October are consistently highlighted as ideal. Though, be prepared, March and April can be quite rainy sometimes. Yeah, a bit of a gamble there. And even in those shoulder seasons, you really need to manage your expectations. Our sources were clear. Portugal's secret is out. It's been a go-to vacation spot among Europeans for years and years.
Right.
So you'll still encounter crowds. There's really no true off-season anymore, unfortunately.
That's such an important reality check. Okay, but for those determined to outsmart the crowds, especially at popular day trip destinations like Sintra, here's a clever tactic from our sources. Book an overnight stay.
Oh, interesting. Stay in Sintra.
Yeah. Imagine waking up there and seeing Pina Palace without feeling like you're in a selfie stick mosh pit. Just get there right when it opens, or stay late after the day trippers have cleared out. Our sources even suggested that accommodation in Sintra, away from Lisbon, can sometimes be surprisingly cheaper.
Huh. That's a great insider tip. dodging crowds and potentially saving money.
Exactly. Okay, so you've decided where and when to go. Great. Now, how do you actually get around once you're there? This is a big one. For city-to-city travel, our sources confirm that public transport trains, intercity buses, it's generally simple and easy to navigate and quite efficient.
Pretty reliable, yeah.
But what if you're dreaming of those off-the-beaten-path discoveries? Or maybe those remote, pristine beaches?
That's exactly where the car rental conversation comes in. While public transport is excellent for major routes, to truly unlock those hidden gems or coastal stretches, a car becomes almost essential for flexibility.
Right, freedom to roam.
But, and this is a significant but from our sources, driving in Portugal comes with some pretty strong warnings. You'll encounter many tolls.
Okay, tolls, expected.
And perhaps more memorably, a lot of close encounters with the country's most notorious danger,
Uh-oh. What?
Portuguese drivers.
Okay. Tell me more. What makes them so notorious? What should listeners be braced for on the roads?
Well, our sources universally warned of things like aggressive tailgating on highways, really close, sudden lane changes often without signaling, and kind of a general disregard for speed limits, especially once you're outside the main city centers.
Sounds stressful.
It can be. One blogger even recounted a near miss where a local driver overtook them on a blind curve. So defensive driving is absolutely key. If you do rent a car, platforms like Discover Cars came recommended. And importantly, ask the rental company to turn on the electronic transponder for tolls.
Oh, right, for the automatic payment.
Exactly. This way you'll get billed at the end of your trip, saving you the hassle of fumbling for euros at every single toll booth. Just remember to factor in potential extra driver fees, often around €10 daily, and any airport surcharges if you pick up there.
Good practical advice.
And for an in-between option, taxis and Uber are generally quite affordable and widely available in cities, so that's always there. And speaking of navigating the terrain, it's not just about cars and tolls. This raises an important point about the physical reality of Portugal. Prepare for the leg workout of your life.
Huh, really?
Seriously. The country is incredibly hilly, especially major cities like Lisbon and Porto. You'll be constantly climbing, descending, winding your way through charming but steep streets.
Okay, noted. Pack comfy shoes.
Absolutely essential. And those very slippery cobblestones, especially when it rains, mean you absolutely need good, solid footwear, like with actual grip. Leave the flimsy sandals or heels at home. You'll thank us when you're not, sliding down some slick hill in Lisbon.
Got it. Fashion over function is definitely not the Portuguese travel motto then. Good to know my sturdy walking shoes are the right call, even for city streets. That's a truly practical tip. Now let's pivot to a fascinating cultural point. Language. Our sources emphasize something important here. English is not as widely spoken here as in other tourist areas in Europe, apparently, especially among older residents.
That's true. It's improving, but yeah, don't assume everyone speaks English.
So rule 1, have Google Translate handy.
Yeah.
But even more importantly, learn some basic greetings. It genuinely goes a long way. Memorize hola for hello, simple enough. Then use bom dia for good morning, boa tarde for good afternoon, and boa noite for good night.
Basic courtesy makes a huge difference.
And remember that thank you is gendered. Men say obrigado, and women say obrigada.
That's a common one people forget. And it's also really crucial to try and learn European Portuguese pronunciation. Our sources highlight that it can be quite stark from Brazilian Portuguese. It's not just a slight accent difference.
Okay. So watching Brazilian soap operas won't fully prepare you.
Probably not for pronunciation. Using Brazilian pronunciation can sometimes lead to misunderstandings or just make it harder for locals to understand you. And please, this was a repeated plea from our sources. Whatever you do, don't just start speaking Spanish.
Right. Big no-no.
Yeah. While there are similarities, it'd be pretty rude to just randomly speak Spanish at people, assuming they'll understand. It's a different country, different language, and locals genuinely appreciate the effort you make to speak Portuguese. Even just a few words. Learning to pronounce destination names correctly, like Guimarães, will also be a lifesaver for navigation and asking directions.
That's a great insight into showing respect for the local culture. It actually reminds me of another unique cultural rhythm our sources discussed. Portuguese time.
Yes, good transition. Portuguese time. It refers to a more, shall we say, relaxed approach to punctuality. Unlike some Central European countries, things aren't always strictly on schedule.
So my German friends might struggle a bit.
Potentially. If tours start a bit later than planned, or if service feels unhurried, try not to be surprised or frustrated. Our sources really suggest embracing this more laid-back attitude. It's part of the experience. This relaxed pace extends to things like restaurant service, which is often not continual. Many kitchens might close for a long break in the late afternoon, reopening for dinner much later than you might be used to.
Okay, planning meal times is key then. Don't get caught hungry between 3 and 7 p.m. All right, you've survived the hills, maybe navigated the drivers, you're speaking a bit of Portuguese. Now for the reward, the food. I'm already dreaming of the next meal, so let's talk about the absolute culinary delights waiting for us in Portugal. Our sources paint a mouth-watering picture, starting with Vinho Verde, or green wine.
Ah, yes. Vinho Verde.
It's described as young drinkable wine that's not aged and often a little fizzy.
Yeah.
Apparently makes it dangerously drinkable and the most delicious and refreshing accompaniment for a sunny terrace. Sounds perfect for that relaxed Portuguese time vibe.
It really is. Very refreshing. And if you're venturing into port wine territory, especially up in Porto, remember it's a very sweet dessert wine, typically enjoyed on its own after a meal, often with cheese or nuts, not one you sip during your main course.
Right, dessert wine. Got it. Not table wine.
Exactly. It's a rich, distinct experience
Yeah.
meant to cap off a meal beautifully.
Okay, so Portuguese cuisine overall is described as super hearty and delicious with amazing regional specialties you absolutely have to explore. By the coast, fresh seafood is abundant, especially bacalhau or codfish, available in hundreds of ways. Seriously, hundreds.
It's everywhere and surprisingly versatile.
Beyond the famous pastéis de bacalhau, those delicious deep-fried balls of potato and cod, you'll find it grilled simply with olive oil, that's bacalhau à brás, or baked with cream, bacalhau com natas, or even shredded into a savory scramble. It's truly a national obsession.
It really is.
In Porto, you absolutely have to indulge in the gluttonous must-try francesinha. Describe this piece again. It's a thick sandwich stuffed with various meats, covered in melted cheese, and smothered in a rich, slightly spicy tomato and beer sauce.
That's the one. It's an event, not exactly light fare.
Definitely not. And then a specialty of Belém and Lisbon, the almighty pastel de nata. Those egg custard pastries that come in a crispy crust, they are absolutely incredible.
Warm.
With a hint of cinnamon. Trust me, the sources say you'll want more than one. Probably several.
Easily. And to sample a variety of these flavors and maybe experience more authentic local dining, our sources highly recommend ordering petiscos. These are basically small shareable bites similar to tapas.
Ah, Portuguese tapas.
Pretty much. It's a fantastic way to try different dishes without committing to a single huge plate. And it can often be a more affordable and, communal way to dine with friends.
That's a brilliant dining strategy. Love that. But what about the overall dining culture? Any surprises there besides the late hours?
Definitely. Connecting this to the bigger picture of dining, yes, be prepared for those late meal times, often around 8 or 9 p.m. or even later, and meals frequently lasting several hours. It's a social event. Also, remember many smaller local restaurants or their kitchens will be closed in the late afternoon to early evening, maybe from 2 or 3 p.m. until 7 p.m. They might offer snacks or just close entirely. So plan your meals accordingly to avoid disappointment.
Okay, planning is key.
And this raises an important question for finding authentic dining and avoiding tourist traps. Our sources warn to beware of places right near big attractions, especially those with hosts actively trying to pull you in from the street or ones with huge laminated pictures of food or menus in a bunch of languages.
The classic signs.
Exactly. Often, just walking a few blocks away from the main sites will yield much better, more authentic options where locals actually eat. Or if you really want that prime view, just pop into those touristy spots for a drink, rather than committing to a potentially mediocre or overpriced full meal.
Smart. Get the view, eat elsewhere. And what about those seemingly complimentary table snacks? I've heard things.
Ah, yes, the couvert. That little plate of olives, bread, maybe some cheese they put down when you sit.
Yeah. Free appetizer, right?
Well, usually not. They aren't actually included and come at an extra cost, usually 1-2 euros per person.
I like.
Now, this isn't a scam. It's just a cultural difference. It's standard practice. But you can absolutely just say no thank you if you don't want them and you won't be charged.
Yeah.
Don't feel obliged at all.
Okay, good to know. Just politely decline if you're not interested. What about tipping?
Tipping, for those wondering, is generally rounding up or doing maybe 10% if you feel the service was particularly good. It's appreciated but not usually expected like in the U.S.
Got it. So with all these delightful experiences, eating, drinking, what does this all mean for your wallet? Cash or card?
Good question. While many places, especially in cities and tourist areas, now take card, Our sources really stress that paying with cash is still very much the norm, especially for smaller bills and at local cafes, markets, or smaller shops.
So keep some euros handy.
Definitely. Aim to keep to 10 euro bills or below if you can. Apparently, smaller places like cafes don't like to break large bills like 50s or 100s.
Okay, practical tip.
Yeah.
But that leads directly to a crucial safety warning, doesn't it? Especially for those visiting Lisbon.
Absolutely. It's a necessary caution. Our sources strongly advise against carrying too much cash at once, especially in touristy and busy areas in Lisbon because, unfortunately, pickpockets can be an issue.
Heard that about Lisbon specifically.
Yeah, one source shared their personal, quite upsetting experience of having their wallet gone after a crowded tram ride near Praça do Comércio. That area, Tram 28, classic pickpocket hotspots. The rule of thumb they offered, do not carry more cash than you can stand to lose. Keep valuables secure.
Sound advice anywhere crowded, really.
True. And another caution that came up, beware of sketchy dealers in high-traffic tourist areas like Lisbon's Baixa district at night. They might approach you offering illicit substances. Our sources say these are often fake anyway, just a scam. So no matter what, make sure the answer is no. It's best to simply ignore them firmly and keep walking. Don't engage.
Okay, important awareness points. But zooming out a bit, despite these specific warnings, how safe is Portugal overall?
Well, what's fascinating here is like, despite these specific cautions about pickpockets and street scams, Portugal is actually one of the safest places to visit in Europe. It was ranked as the 7th safest country in the world in a recent index.
Wow, 7th, that's really high.
Yeah, crime rates are generally low, and our sources also noted it as very LGBTQ plus friendly, with Lisbon often recommended for its vibrant gay scene. So while vigilance is always wise in crowded tourist areas anywhere in the world, it's not a reflection of widespread danger in Portugal itself. It's often the distraction of being a tourist that creates the opportunity for pickpockets rather than prevalent violent crime.
That's really reassuring context. Important distinction. Okay, to wrap up our practical tips, what's one last thing our listeners should definitely pack, even if they're traveling in, say, sunny July or August?
This raises an important question about comfort, and it came up again and again. Even if you're visiting in summer, our sources unanimously advise pack warmer layers.
Really, even in summer?
Yes, because the wind in Portugal, particularly along the coast, can be absolutely vicious. It can feel really biting, especially when temperatures drop at night. Even a seemingly warm, sunny day can turn surprisingly chilly quite quickly as the sun dips below the horizon. So throwing a warm scarf or a light jacket or fleece into your suitcase is absolutely a must-have. You won't regret it.
Excellent final tip. What an incredible deep dive. Seriously, so much practical stuff here. We've covered everything from discovering hidden gems beyond the main cities and mastering transport options to understanding the relaxed rhythm of Portuguese time, savoring those amazing francesinhas and pastéis de nata. Man. And importantly, staying safe and sound with those cash and awareness tips. With these insights gleaned from seasoned travelers, you're not just visiting Portugal, you're ready to truly experience it. Armed with the wisdom to transform your trip from, good to absolutely unforgettable.
Yeah, definitely. And if we connect this all to the bigger picture, these tips aren't just about avoiding trouble or saving a bit of money. They're really about empowering you to step confidently into a rich culture, to engage more deeply, and maybe to find your own miradoros, those unexpected viewpoints, both literally, across the stunning landscapes, but also metaphorically, within the heart of Portugal itself. It makes you think, doesn't it? How might truly embracing a new rhythm like Portuguese time actually change your perspective? Not just on travel, maybe, but even on your own daily life back home.